potatoes.
What is compost tea? Well, what is not compost tea is a bag of compost hanging in a bucket and then squeezed out and away we go. That's what you would call a compost leachate. You get some nutrients and you might get a few organisms in there, but it is not what we're doing here. We are suspending microbes in water. We are pumping air through the bag that the microbes are suspended in, knocking those microbes off their perch, suspending them in the water, feeding them, breeding them, changing the temperature over time, over a 24-hour period, keeping them suspended, keeping them breeding, and then at the end of that 24 hours we're applying them to our production system. Now we can either spray them on or we can apply them as a soil drench. But if we spray them on, the important thing is the timing. Now in the evening, the stomata on the underside of the leaves start to open up as the plants go to transpiration. So it means that they're taking in the nutrients under the leaf. So if we spray the compost tea on late in the evening as the dew point comes down, then we're going to have the maximum effect on our plants. The trouble is for us is we don't want to spray when we've got fruit on the vines or on the trees, so then it can become a soil drench and we put the microbes into the soil. Now, why do we replenish these microbes? Well, it's quite simply this. Every time we do something in our production system, we damage the microbiology. Whether we dig it, whether we harvest it, whether we pull weeds out, whether we irrigate it, whatever we do, we are going to harm the microbiology. And all this is doing is putting the microbes back. The other thing I want to insist on, it is not a fertilizer. So many people think that it is an additional fertilizer that can replace something else. It does not. All it is a whole bunch of microbes, and they are there to simply occupy space. Where the good guys live, the bad guys can't get in. And so they're not there to fix anything, they're just simply there to attach to. Now the bacteria, the glue in the bacteria and the fungi is so strong that nothing breaks that bond. Once you put it on the plant, it's there for good. And the other thing that we're looking at is that the bodies of the microbiology is the place where the nitrogen can be held in the soil. That's the only place it can be held while it's busy leaching through, and this is why we're losing so much of our soils and our biology and of our chemical applications, especially our nitrogen and phosphates. It's because we're failing to keep our soil healthy enough to keep the microbes with the nitrogen in their bodies. If we get rid of our microbes, and we do so by the moment we put high salt index fertilizers, the moment we put glyphosate on the soil, we are destroying the microbiological activity. And it ain't going to come back until you put it back. Now this is one way of restoring it, but you've got to do it regularly in order to keep it up. It doesn't cost a lot, and it's very, very effective, but you must get it right. From the cleaning of your machine to the application of the actual compost tea itself, it has a series of phases that you should get right at each point. So we're going to start off by cleaning my brewer, putting the water in and getting it set up at the point of where we can get some electricity. We need that for the pump.